To my beautiful friends, happy Tuesday. I will say I am feeling like a bit more like I feel like it's easier to get things done right now. Let me wipe the shine off my forehead. I used a few serums today, so we are extra oily. I've realized, I've been arguing with myself sometimes. I'm like, when is the best time of day to shower? And I think I am a midday shower sort of girl. I've decided, because I hate, like, if I shower at night, like, I love being all, like, relaxed before bed, but I hate sleeping with wet hair, and I hate blow drying my hair. That shit takes forever. So, yeah, I just kind of let it do its thing today. I had a productive day. I mean, I was supposed to have a meeting at 9, and then I got pushed to 11:30, so, instead of, like, dilly-dallying and smoking weed in the morning, I just went and I got myself a little, I tried, like, a brown sugar shaken oat espresso thing. I don't know, I've been trying new drinks at Starbucks. I think I told you guys. It's pretty good. Give it like a, I don't know, 7 out of 10. And yeah, just came home and did a bunch of work, and yeah, and then after that I was like, okay, time to shower. And then I knew I wanted to talk to you guys because I had a vision the other day about The Perks of Being a Wallflower is one of my favorite movies in the whole entire world. I've watched it God knows how many times. Is it a person over there? It certainly is. Okay, yeah, so I've watched The Perks of Being a Wallflower like a bajillion times. I've also, I don't know if I finished the book, but a girl I went to high school with gave me her copy of the book and I never gave it back to her, so I'm sorry, Paige. She lives in New Zealand now, I think, though, so, I mean, if I ever see her, I'd give it back to her, but whatever. Fantastic movie, if you've never seen it. It has, like, a really good cast all around, but, Paul Rudd is in it. Paul Rudd plays, like, the English teacher. I was an AP English student, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Let's spark this. Oh, this lighter is dead. Anyways, okay, so the whole premise of The Perks of Being a Wallflower is it's like this little freshman guy, he's kind of been having like a really hard time, I think, because like his best friend killed himself, and he, has childhood trauma and stuff. His name is Charlie. Logan Lerman plays him. Just like such a really just sweet guy, whatever. And so Charlie, he's like heading off to high school. He's kind of like nervous about it, whatever. And then he ends up befriending like the popular kids who are like seniors, maybe like they're juniors or something when he first meets them. But anyways, so it's just kind of like told from Charlie's perspective of like how like him as like, he's probably what, like 14 years old, like him as like a 14-year-old boy is like learning about the world from like people who are just like a few years older than him, and he's just like, he's very like open and receptive to life. Like Charlie is a man who's very like in his feminine energy. But so at one point, Charlie, he has a crush on Sam, who is Emma Watson, and Sam has this boyfriend who is like, he's already in college. I don't know, he's like not that great to her. And Charlie, oh my god, I have to glue my nail back on. Charlie is like, he's in love with Sam, but she is just like so fixated. Oh god, this is funny. She's like fixated on her college boyfriend, whatever. And so I think he cheats on her or something, and then Charlie is just like, he's a very like sensitive person, right? And so he sees Sam suffering, and he's like, oh my god, she's in this relationship with like someone who doesn't respect her. And I think Sam like kind of like, I don't know, slept around or whatever in high school, and people like talked about her and said all kinds of nasty things. But like Charlie, he just saw like Sam in the best version of herself. Like he saw her as like a very like special angelic presence to him. And so he goes to his English teacher and he's like, why do people settle? Like, why? I can't remember exactly what he asks. Sorry, I'm gonna bust this glue open. So he asks Paul Rudd, he's like, why do people stay in relationships with like, people who aren't good for them? And Paul Rudd says, we accept the love we think we deserve. And that has always like meant a lot to me, you know what I mean? Like, just like in hearing that, like the more you think about it, the deeper it gets, because how it was shown to me, like I reblogged it on Tumblr yesterday, and someone, or I don't know, I just like, I had a vision, okay, and it came to me and it was like, okay, but that is not only just like in romantic relationships that we accept the love we think we deserve. It's also like from yourself to yourself, because I have been like, I'm a person, I love hedonism, you know what I mean? So like I have been on the end of it where it's just like I could not take care of myself for shit, because I'm seeing 444 right now, but like, because all I cared about was hedonism, all I cared about was pleasure, and like I could never get enough, you know what I mean? I was just like, oh my god, like when is gonna be my next opportunity to just like have a good time, you know? Like, and it was just like only like things that like were literally potentially putting my life on the line like seemed fun to me, you know what I mean? So it was just like the stakes were really high, and like achieving that feeling of fun, it was like something I was constantly chasing. And so because I was doing that, it was like my focus wasn't on like taking care of myself, you know what I mean? Like my focus was like on having fun. And so I had to like go through a radical shift, and like, I mean, there were probably so many times in my life when like I think back in retrospect and I'm like, I honestly probably could have died. Like, I'm like, wow, like I was just out here doing like some crazy bullshit, you know what I mean? And like, I'm so fucking thankful that like bad things did happen to me, and like I had to learn and grow from that. But like in other respects, like there are times when I probably could have like overdosed, or like I was so fucking drunk that like I don't even know how I got home. I don't like there probably I can count on two hands the number of nights that I don't know what happened. I do not know. I could not tell you. I was not there. I lost consciousness, right? And so that's the thing. Like, so if you don't think that you're worthy, if you don't think that you are worthy of treating yourself with like basic fucking like, not even just respect, but just like actually going above and beyond, then like how are you expecting to build a new earth? How are we gonna have these like happy, healthy relationships if we are not even taking care of ourselves? Like, I mean, I am infinitely better than I used to be, but like I still have work to do, because my thing right now is it's just like, you know, I'm like a lady in waiting. Like I know what my future is. I know what my destiny is. So it's like I'm not out here like ragtagging, wasting time, like fucking in the streets, like doing any of that shit. But it's just like, while I'm in my period of like waiting, like I'm in the best shape that I've been in years, you know what I mean? So it's not like I spend time like feeling negative about my body or anything in the way that I used to. But it's like I could be doing more. Like I could be like in the gym for like a solid hour every day. Like, you know, like I do like workouts at home and whatever, but like I haven't been to the gym in a hot little minute, because I'm just like, oh, I'm just waiting for my prince to come. You know, I'm just like, I'm being like real casual about it. And it's like, oh, I could be a bit more dangerous right now if I wanted to be, right? So it's like we all have room for improvement. So kind of like what I want to talk about is I pulled cards from this deck. It's like Healing Energy Oracle. So the card that kind of is like the overall theme that I got is like attention. So this is how you take your power back, like through what you give your attention to, right? So this says, I am attentive to all that manifests within me. When negativity rises within me, I transform it into light, love, and hope. My love for others is unconditional. I forgive. My desire to improve is constant. I am firm, brave, and hardworking. So I've not read any of these cards. Like, I mean, I read like the main theme of them, but I haven't read like the words on them. So I think it's interesting that like I was just talking about like, you know, I've kind of hit like a plateau in like, I feel like for a while, so it's like I was like up here, and then I was going down for a while, and then I came back up, and then now I'm just kind of like, because it's like I have this fear almost of like my highest potential, or of like getting too far ahead of the game, because like my whole thing, like my prince, he told me he wasn't ready for me, so I'm like, oh, like I don't want to level up too far, and then he's not ready. But then it's like, you know, how is that fun? Like I should just keep leveling up, and he just has to catch up, and then if it's not him, then it's someone else. But like, I've been playing this game for a while now, and I know what I want, okay, and I'm pretty sure it's him. Anyways, so what you give your attention to, right, is what you manifest more of in your life. So like I want more love, right? So then, since I can't express that like outwardly in a romantic way, then I do it in a platonic way, and I do it to myself, right? And so here are some cards. Like, this is like I think a big issue in our society today is like substance abuse, right? I say this as I'm sitting here smoking weed, but that is the only substance I still abuse. Like, I used to have a problem with drinking. I used to have a problem with sleeping with people. I used to have a problem with drugs. I got rid of all of those things except for weed, obviously. And so through that, I was able to like do a lot of healing, and that's why I'm qualified to talk to you about these things. Like, I think people like just look at me and they're just like, what does this girl know? Like, you assume maybe I've had it really easy my whole entire life, but like the thing about me is that man over there. The thing about me is that no, like I have probably 5 Aquarius placements, I think. And so if you are like very heavy in like Aquarius or Capricorn, it's like when you are young, you are very old, you are very serious, and life is very hard. And then as you get older, you kind of like age backwards. I'm like Benjamin fucking Button. Okay, so these cards are kind of like talking about just like the greater issues of society, like the energy of what's happening right now. And then I have more cards that are kind of like a toolbox of like things we can use to help us focus our attention in the right areas. My throat is aching. I feel like it's that time of year where it's like the weather is changing suddenly, so everyone's gonna start getting really sick. If I get sick, I'm gonna die. Actually, no, let's not say that, but I'm just like, I hate being sick. Anyways, Kate, return to heart. There's lots of heart-centered stuff here, and I literally said I was gonna do green nails because green is the color of the heart chakra. So this says, I breathe light and stick to the essential for my soul, the present moment. I calm my thoughts, I focus on my heart and find space to be where my light and greatness are. I find peace and inner silence. So it's like getting comfortable in those moments, because some people, it's like the reason why they turn to substance abuse or like just like distractions and like things outside of themselves is because they're not comfortable with the silence. No one ever taught them how to sit with themselves, but like I had to teach myself how to do that. So yeah, learn to listen to your heart. Isn't that a song? Probably. A new opening. So this is like what I felt called to say when I read this is kind of like, some people don't give themselves enough time to see what life can be like without the things they're addicted to, you know what I mean? So it's like if you me, for example, like with weed, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna smoke weed today. I didn't even give myself a chance. Well, I mean, actually, I didn't do it this morning, and I had a productive morning, so that kind of showed me, okay, maybe like no weed until after a certain time of day, and maybe I'll try that and see if it works, you know what I mean? And if that doesn't work, it's like, okay, maybe it's quitting time, hey sap. So when one door closes, I am confident another will open, and it will be for my betterment. That is key. You have to know that it's for your betterment, even if it hurts, even if it's not what you want, even if your ego is bruised. It's for your betterment. I accept that life brings challenges and acknowledge the opportunity and learning they present to me. Serenity comes from within. Oh, I think if I didn't reblog it, I put it in my queue on Tumblr, but there's like a photo from Seinfeld, and I don't know, Kramer, he's just like, he used the serenity prayer, you know, and he just like, it showed how uplifted he was, because it's true, as soon as you, even if you just have like, one of the cards in our toolbox is affirmation, but even if you just have like words you can say to yourself to help you calm down and like come back to center, like sometimes that's really all you need. So yeah, just know that if you create space in your life for the things that you want to come in, like you have to have that space there. You have to have a landing pad, but also like the issue is, it's like me and King Henry, we call each other in, okay? And then, but then you have to be ready for what you manifest. So he wasn't ready. So then now he has to go get ready. You know what I mean? And then I'm just like left here to be like, well, fuck, I guess I have some work I can do too. Okay, the voice of the heart. See, I told you have to listen to your heart. So I silence the fear in me and discover the voice of my heart. The fruit of these words guides me. I trust the song of my soul. My intuition leads me on the path of light. So maybe like because you've never learned to sit in silence, you can't even tell the difference between like intuitive guidance or like the thoughts, like the programs that you're running on that are maybe just like auto consciousness or like whatever, like they've just been programmed into your brain, and it's like that's not even what you believe. That's just what you were taught to believe. Oh my god, my throat hurts so much, and I didn't bring any water. Bad Haley. Unconditional love, the solution to everything. And if you think, because the thing about me, like I'm a Pisces Venus, right? So like my whole entire life lesson has been unconditional love, and I used to think like unconditional love was just like showering someone in like attention and like compliments and just like, I don't know, like letting them know that like I'm obsessed with them. But like no bitch, like that's probably not even how like half the planet receives love. Like unconditional love is accepting someone for who they are and listening to them, and just like there's so many things to it that I've just learned in the last few years, but it's like no one taught it to me. Like I had to teach myself this. And I haven't experienced it in a relationship. I mean, like King Henry is probably like, I mean, I unconditionally love him, and like I have had to like prove that to myself, you know, and I think like he does me too on some level, because there are things that like I've done in the past that it's like I didn't do them as like acts of vengeance towards him. They're just like decisions I've made that like maybe he doesn't feel are aligned with him, you know, and it's like he has to like still choose to see like how Charlie sees Sam in The Perks of Being a Wallflower. That's how he sees me. Like he's literally said to me like, I see you like a Princess Diana type figure. And as soon as he said that to me, like, it's like through him seeing me that way, it's like it made me take myself more seriously, because I'm like, this is someone that like I respect, and I'm like, wow, like he really sees me that way. So if I start seeing myself that way, then maybe other people will see that in me too, because maybe that's who I really am, not this person that like I've been pretending to be because I just wanted to fit in, or because I was addicted to a bunch of things. So this says, sorry, I need to take a deep breath. Ugh. I feel like I'm gonna lose my voice. This is not good. I have like a meeting every day. Okay. My heart is free from resentment toward others. I open the eyes of my heart and discover the light and beauty in every being. I am aware that suffering can cause distress and hurt in people. I see the pure child in everyone and practice forgiveness. That is one of the most helpful things you can do, actually, is just like treat the world like we're all just children playing together on the playground. And if someone is frustrating you, thank them and say, okay, how can I work with them? Like, what is this showing me? Like, how can I handle this in a way that doesn't take me into my flesh? You know, like that's what lower vibrational energies want, is for you to be in your flesh. But if you spend more time being in your spirit, remember, be more divine, less human. So release. I think the reason a lot of people also lean into substance abuse is because they can't release traumas that are built up within their system. I mean, I have a lot of pent up trauma, like in my sacral chakra, like from being assaulted and just like going through other traumas, like related to that area of my body, right? And so like in the past, like after I was assaulted, like I continued to drink, and like I drank pretty heavily, and it was like pretty much anytime I drank, no matter what I drank, like I would get blackout, because that was just my mind just trying to forget and like not deal with things. And once I like stopped drinking, like I'm about to be, my 3-year sober anniversary is coming up, you guys. I should throw a party. No booze, lots of blunts though. Okay. Release. I stop fighting my fears and the hardships of life. I control my thoughts, live in the present moment, and accept each stage of life. I work on what I have power over and put into God's hands what I can't change. I trust that everything will work out for the best. It's that simple. It's that simple. Literally. Okay, this is our little toolkit. Let me grab, and these are kind of like, they're all the colors of the rainbow. So it's like the Power Rangers, okay? They're here to help us. So affirmation. If you just have like a toolbox of helpful phrases or whatever, I listen to myself and acknowledge my needs. I assert myself and retain my power. I am brave and gentle. I don't have to be afraid of others. I respect myself and am respected by others. So do no harm but take no shit. Like basically, like if you go into an interaction like with walls up around your heart, assuming that other people are gonna like look down upon you, you're more likely to attract that kind of energy. But like if you go in with like an open heart and really genuinely like you are just like authentic, then you're more likely to like pull that same energy out of someone else. Elevation. So raise your vibration. Instead of, substance abuse is so fucking low vibrational. Fucking go jump rope or something. Like go sit at the park with your friends. You know, like just go for a walk. Even if you want to fucking do drugs. Like when I would do shrooms back in the day, oh my god, I would just walk for hours and hours and hours and hours, just like tripping balls on shrooms. And it was so fun, you know? So like if you have the opportunity to like use drugs in a helpful way, yeah, okay, I'm all for that. I think we should do a lot of that in a new earth. I free myself from fear and trust the universe. I direct my thoughts to the beauty inside and around me. I use my spiritual strengths and knowledge to create light, and I rise above all doubt. So like me, for example, like I could waste my time sitting around being like, oh my god, the love of my life isn't ready for me, and like what does that say about me? Like, you know, like I could just be in lack and in fear, like oh my god, like I did something wrong. But instead it's just like I just have to like see the higher perspective and trust the process and know, based on the information I've been given, like okay, like I could take this time and go and be wild and crazy and free and be like, oh my god, like nothing I do could fuck this up, like let me just like be crazy with my energy. Or I could do what I've been doing, which is like continuing on the straight and narrow and like being where I am but knowing where I'm going, right? So it's like I'm trying, well, I'm not perfect at being present in the moment because I'm not really surrounded by people who are good at being present in the moment. So I feel like if I spend more time alone, then at least I can be present by myself, you know what I mean? And I still do lean into like smoking weed to escape, obviously, and clicking mouse. No one's gonna know what that means, but I know what that means. Okay, me. You are the most powerful tool you have. You are literally like a vessel. I allow serenity to reign in me. The love I have for myself invites harmony to settle within my being. I listen to, honor, and strive to fulfill the needs of my soul. The soul, not the ego. Listen to life. So I am attentive to the world around me. Signs and symbols guide me to success. I listen and discover the way to the eternal. So yeah, like having really healed feminine energy is just like being receptive to the signs life is trying to show you. So even if it is just like angel numbers, or like through music, I'll get a lot of messages, or just like things that like really resonate you. Like if you feel called to watch a certain show, or like go to a certain place or whatever, like all of that is like in your intuition. And the more you start listening to those little things that like feel like intuitive hits to you, the more of them you'll receive, because the universe knows that it's safe, like that you're in a receptive frame of mind. This is actually a sign, One Step at a Time, because the song One Step at a Time by Jordan Sparks that came on shuffle earlier, fucking love that song. Love Jordan Sparks. And actually anytime I listen to the radio nowadays, which is usually just like my mom will play it sometimes in the living room, it's just like songs about getting blackout drunk or like being in toxic relationships. Like there's really not a lot of like high vibrational stuff on the radio, and I think that goes back to like we live in a culture of substance abuse. But the song One Step at a Time by Jordan Sparks is all about like, she literally says like there's no need to rush, like just take your time. And my whole motto, if you've ever read Untamed by Glennon Doyle, her whole thing is like do the next right thing, right? And so me, you know, I'm always just like, well, there's like a million next right things at any given time, you know? So then I had to kind of narrow that down and be like, you can only do one thing at a time. So just pick like whatever feels like the next right thing for you. Like what is, because maybe sometimes it's like, you know, you're putting in like, if I'm putting in a lot of work like at like work, you know what I mean, like I actually sit down and like lock in for like 3 hours, then it's like I like to have kind of like a personal project I can go and do, like even if that's just like cleaning out my closet, or like like doing laundry or something, you know. But like then it's like that is my next right thing, because it's like, okay, I did some right things in the area of work, and then now I'm doing some right things in like the area of like life maintenance, right? So it's just kind of like balancing your energy and knowing when to give to what. But you can only do it one step at a time. So like don't worry about taking steps over here. Like don't worry about fucking running laps around the track when you're walking to the store. Be where you are but know where you're going. I see the mountain ahead and dedicate myself to taking one small step at a time. I make progress by staying focused on the present moment, the current task. Thus, I regain my ease of living. Because if you think about it, like that's when you do get into a flow state, when you're just focused on like what you're doing. But like if I say, for example, I sit down, just saw 4 twos. I don't know how many I said. Anyways, if I sit down, to like at like, this is actually why I prefer to do my work in the evening, because throughout the day a lot of like early in the morning a lot of people are like messaging me on Slack and like whatever, so then it's kind of hard for me to like sit down and like really focus, because my energy is being pulled elsewhere. But if it's like in the evening, then I'm like, oh, I don't really feel like I don't need to check this right now, you know. It's like I can just like focus and like pour my energy in, and then it just like it becomes a flow, it becomes easy for me. Oh my god, my throat hurts so much, but I have one more card. Here and now. The future does not exist and the past is gone. I focus on the present moment. I have confidence in life again, because here, now, there is no danger. Everything happens when my soul is ready. So just trust that. I need to get better at trusting that, you know? I'm like King Henry. Where you at? But maybe I still have like things I need to unlock. I don't know, like I feel ready, but maybe I'm not. So I just need to keep staying dangerous. I don't want to get complacent, and I don't, sorry, I'm sitting here itching my eye. I don't know. I've just talked for fucking 25 minutes. If you are watching this, I'm so grateful for you, and I love you, and know that you deserve all the love in the world. And if you want to receive it from others, start by giving it to yourself. And give love away for free. Don't expect anything in return. That's very Christ-like. That Jesus just came through at the end there to say that. Okay, bye.